Hey Brian, you got a theme song for us this morning? I guess that's a yes then, huh? Nicely done. Why don't you come shoot some video for me this morning? Well, good morning. Welcome to another episode of Stick Boy's Lab. I'm Stick Boy. You heard Brian playing the theme song. He's also running camera. We appreciate that, Brian. Thank you. So today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a little bit of modification on these stock ready-to-run tires. Now buck that away from me. Now they're pretty hard in stock form, and so we're going to take a couple of these lugs out. We're going to slice a couple of them up and maybe do some other things as well. So I'm going to have Brian come around here and get in for a little closer shot. So here's the tire that we're going to be trimming today. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's fairly hard. I've already started cutting out a couple of the lugs right here, and once I'm done cutting all those lugs out, I will come back and put some additional grooving in. I'm just using a standard utility knife blade, new, very sharp. You can use other tools as well, nippers, toenail clippers. I'm starting here on this side, just slicing in and then kind of rolling it around. Be sure to keep your blade under control as you are cutting towards yourself, and it is possible to slice yourself wide open. That's all there is to it. Just keep doing that over and over and over and over again. I'll come back when I have all those lugs cut out, and I'll show you a little bit of what else I'm doing on these tires. So as you can see, I finished cutting off all the large lugs, and I have started cutting these grooves into that tread block. This is fairly time consuming, and what I'm doing is I'm just cutting in here straight like this, and then cutting out a V. Sometimes you have to pick those out by hand afterwards. Just like that. And then the other thing I'm doing is I'm just putting 2 sipes in this large center lug. Just like that. And so that's what I'm doing. I'll be back when I finished. So here I have the tire with all the siping done on it. Once again, if you choose to go this route, be warned, it's fairly time consuming and dangerous. So there's one more thing that I would like to try, and that is turning these tires inside out and thinning down the inside a little bit. Anyways, you get the idea. Inside out tire. Oops, got a little too deep right there. So here we have the tire turned inside out, and I'm going to start thinning this down. I'm going to thin it down right along here, and also a little bit on the sidewall. Need to be careful because it is pretty thin here in a couple spots, especially where I trimmed the lugs out, and I may get holes. So I'm sure we'll see a couple holes here somewhere. Here we go. See, I got a hole there already. That makes a fairly big difference. You can see I got a couple of holes in here, so that's not good. Turn this back right side out, and it feels good. As you can see, it's fairly flexible now compared to stock. So now that we have this one tire modified, all the tread cut on it, now we have these other three that are not modified yet. So we're going to come over to the duplomodinator. Now this is an interesting machine that I picked up some time back. What happens is we'll put the original in here, and we'll put the three that need to be modified up in here. And we'll close that door. Make sure you close that door. We'll turn this to modify because it needs to be modified. This didn't finish the last cycle, so we'll do that. There's three of them up here, so we'll hit 3. 3 is the most that this will do at one time. So we'll do 3, and then I believe we want to put this in for 2.2. I believe that's correct. And so then we'll hit start, and it will take the design and the modifications that we made to this one, and it will apply them to this one. And so we will hit start, and it will do its thing. So there we go. It's operating now. It's working to modify those ones on the top. Now this is really an interesting machine with really kind of a crazy history. It all kind of came about back in the 1970s, and it was developed at this kind of a hippie scientist commune somewhere around the Portland area, and it was sort of a top secret thing, and it wasn't very well known. It was originally designed to be powered by an alternate energy source, and what they were using for their alternate energy source was actually a cannabis fired boiler. And the inventors of this cannabis-fired boiler were convinced that this was just the greatest thing in an alternative energy source. And, you know, they tested and tested and tested, but they could never get any conclusive tests. But they became very obsessed with testing this machine, which I won't comment on that at all. At any rate, we'll go on to other things. We'll let this run, and we'll come back when the cycle is complete, and I'll show you what kind of a job it did on there. Harbor Freight rotary tool with a flex shaft and a coarse sanding disc. Works great, very easy to punch holes in the tire. Also, I have this piece of heavy wall tubing and cutting some slices off of it to use for wheel weights. And so these will slide right in here like this. And I'll probably glue those in place. Also, you might notice that I drilled the holes out in the wheels. I believe I thought it was an 1/8 inch bit, but it might be smaller than that. It's the largest bit that won't hit on the edge of the rim. I just did that because I thought it might look nice, and maybe it does. I don't know. I haven't made up my mind yet on that one. So our cycle on the duplomodinator is done. We'll take these tires out of here, see what kind of job it did. There's the original. It's the one we put in the bottom. Here's 3 guys in the top. can look at those, see they're all nice, right? All nice and matched up. Did a pretty good job. I'm happy with that. I'm sure we'll be using this machine a lot more in the future, and I'll probably tell you a little more about it and how it works. And it really is fascinating technology, especially having been developed back in the 70s. Hey Brian, you found your accordion. Righteous. Oh, hi. Yeah, so we're done with the tire mods. They turned out awesome. Got a little extra weight in them, a little bit softer, drilled some holes. Thanks for watching.